Chosen one, there is a moment in your childhood that holds a deeper meaning than you ever realized. It may have seemed small. It may have felt insignificant. But that moment was not random, it was a divine sign. From the very beginning, God marked you. Before you even knew who you were, He was guiding your steps. Perhaps you were different from other children. Perhaps you felt a deep connection to something greater than yourself. Perhaps you sensed things others couldn't, or you felt emotions more intensely than those around you. That was not a mistake. That was your first confirmation that you were never meant to live an ordinary life. Because God's chosen ones are always set apart. Even when they are young, even when they don't understand why, they are being prepared for something greater. Think back to that childhood moment. A dream. A vision. An experience that made you feel like you were different from the rest. It was never random. It was a piece of your divine puzzle, a glimpse of the path God had already prepared for you. Hear this clearly, that moment was proof that you were chosen. Chosen ones are never given an easy path. From childhood, you may have faced obstacles that others never had to endure. You may have felt like you didn't belong. You may have experienced deep loneliness. You may have had a strong intuition, sensing things before they happened. But these were not curses. They were preparations. Because God does not choose those who are weak, He chooses those who can endure. If you had vivid, prophetic dreams as a child, it was a sign that God was communicating with you. If you felt an unseen force guiding you, it was a sign that divine protection was over you. If you often felt emotions deeply, it was a sign that you were given a heart strong enough to bear the burdens of others. Everything in your life has already been written, and your childhood held important messages from God. You may have wondered why you had to go through so much pain as a child. Why did you have to suffer? Why did people misunderstand you? Why did you feel like you were always fighting battles no one else could see? The answer is simple: you were being trained. God knew your purpose required a different kind of strength. You were not meant to live an ordinary life. You were not meant to blend in with the crowd. You were not meant to walk an easy road. That is why He allowed the trials, not to break you, but to build you. Everything that hurt you as a child was actually shaping you into the warrior you were meant to become. While others were comfortable, you were growing. While others were living in ignorance, you were gaining wisdom. While others were avoiding struggle, you were developing resilience. Because the strongest soldiers go through the hardest battles. And you? You have been in training your entire life. Have you ever felt like you were different from everyone else? Like no one truly understood you? Like you were standing in a room full of people, yet still felt alone? That's because you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. God separated you from the crowd for a reason. He gave you wisdom beyond your years. He gave you a heart that could feel things others ignored. He gave you a calling that required isolation, pain, and growth. And while others were being comfortable, you were being refined. So do not be discouraged by your past. Do not resent the hardships. Do not question why you were given such a difficult journey. Because one day soon, you will look back and realize that it was all necessary. Everything you endured made you into the powerful being you are today. And the world? They are about to see exactly who you were always meant to be. This moment right now is more than just a message, it is a divine confirmation. It is proof that everything you have been through had a purpose. That you were chosen before you were even born. That you are stepping into a new season of wisdom, strength, and divine power. And now? It is time to declare your place in God's plan. Take a moment and do these 3 things. Hit the subscribe button on Bible Peak to help spread God's Word. Click the like button as an act of faith. Comment the number 12. 12 represents God's chosen people and His divine governance over the world. By leaving the number 12 in the comments, you are declaring your alignment with God's plan. You are stepping fully into your purpose. You are accepting the power God has placed within you. You are claiming the divine inheritance that was always meant for you. This is not just an action, this is a declaration. A statement of faith. A sign of power. A symbol of destiny. So type it boldly. 12, because from this moment on, you will never question who you are again. You are chosen. You are powerful. You are unstoppable. And the world is about to see it. Chosen one, the struggles you endured in childhood were not random, they were not unfair, they were not a mistake, they were a divine training ground. The moments of feeling abandoned were teaching you self-reliance. The experiences of being rejected were showing you how to stand strong alone. The hardships you faced were shaping you into an unbreakable warrior. From an early age, God began your preparation, because not everyone is chosen for greatness, not everyone can survive what you have survived, not everyone can endure the battles you have faced, not everyone can walk the path that you were destined for. That is why your life was different from the start. While others lived in comfort, you were tested. While others followed the crowd, you were set apart. While others had easy beginnings, you faced the storm early. And it wasn't because you were cursed, it was because you were chosen. God does not give the strongest battles to the weakest souls, He selects those who are meant for more. So if you ever questioned why your childhood was more difficult than others, know this: you were not suffering, you were being forged in fire. Chosen one, while other children were playing, you were learning lessons of survival. You didn't have the luxury of innocence for long. Maybe you had to be responsible far too soon. Maybe you were exposed to hardships that no child should ever face. Maybe you had to be strong for others, even when no one was strong for you. But that was not an accident. Because God needed you to be different, He needed you to develop a sharp mind that could see through deception, a strong spirit that could endure storms without breaking, a resilient heart that could keep going, even when everything seemed hopeless. This world is filled with people who crumble under pressure, but you were trained to be unshakable. Think about it: if someone else had to endure what you endured, would they still be standing today? Would they still have faith? Would they still believe in themselves after everything they went through? Most wouldn't. But you survived. You kept going. Even when life gave you every reason to quit, you kept believing. Even when people told you that you were nothing, you kept moving forward, even when you had no clear path ahead. That is what makes you different. That is why you are chosen. Because you refused to give up. While others fell into despair, you rose in power. While others let their past define them, you used your past to strengthen you. While others let the world break them, you allowed yourself to be rebuilt into something unbreakable. This is why you cannot compare your journey to anyone else. Your story is not the same. Because your calling is greater. Everything that happened to you was for a reason. Every heartbreak, it taught you wisdom. Every betrayal, it taught you discernment. Every struggle, it taught you resilience. Because God knew that where He was taking you, you could not afford to be weak. He knew that if He allowed you to live in comfort, you would never grow into the leader you were meant to be. So He let you face the battles early. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Because what's coming next, only the strongest souls can handle it. And you have been training for this moment since the day you were born. You may not have seen it before, but now you understand. The things that once made you cry now make you powerful. The moments that once felt like destruction were actually shaping your destiny. The pain that once weighed you down is now the very thing that lifts you up. God never abandoned you. He never forgot about you. He was simply molding you, sharpening your mind, strengthening your heart, building your faith, because you were never meant for an average life, you were meant for something greater. And now, you are finally ready, even in the darkest moments of your childhood, even when you felt completely alone, even when you thought no one cared, God was always there. He was guiding your steps, He was whispering strength into your soul, He was surrounding you with unseen protection, because He knew this day would come, the day where you would finally see why everything happened the way it did. The day where you would no longer be the person who questioned their worth, the day where you would step fully into the power that was always meant for you, and that day is today. Chosen one, hear this clearly, you are not weak, you are not lost, you are not forgotten. You are stronger than you have ever been, because your childhood was not just about survival, it was about preparation, and now, you are ready to walk fully in your divine purpose. The struggles are over, the waiting is over, the training is complete. Now it's time for you to step into your true power. Chosen one, have you ever had dreams so vivid, so powerful, that they felt more real than reality itself? Dreams that left you shaken, dreams that gave you answers, dreams that felt like warnings, revelations, or visions of the future. If you have, this is no coincidence. God has been speaking to you. The divine has always communicated with the chosen through dreams. Joseph in the Bible received prophetic dreams that shaped the destiny of nations. Daniel had visions that revealed the future of kingdoms. Even the wise men were warned in a dream to avoid Herod and protect the newborn Jesus. Your dreams are not just random fragments of your subconscious. They are messages guiding you, messages protecting you, messages revealing truths that others cannot see. Have you ever dreamt of something before it happened? Have you ever woken up with a deep sense of knowing, even if you didn't understand why? Have you ever received answers to problems in your sleep, answers that seem to come from nowhere? That is because you are not like everyone else. The spiritual world communicates with you in ways that others will never comprehend. This is why you must never ignore your dreams. They are a direct line from God to your soul. If you've had a dream that felt significant, write it down, reflect on it, pray over it, seek understanding, because sometimes, what God shows you in your dreams is preparing you for what's to come, and if you ignore them, you may miss out on divine guidance meant to protect and elevate you. Chosen one. Your dreams are not just personal, they are spiritual. They reveal things about your destiny, your enemies, your future blessings, your divine mission. If you have ever experienced dreams that showed you events before they happened, gave you warnings about people who later betrayed you, left you feeling like you had just received a message from a higher power, then you must understand, these are not coincidences, these are signs that you are being guided. Sometimes, God sends answers in ways that words cannot express. A recurring dream may be trying to get your attention. A vision during sleep may be showing you your next steps. A mystical experience in a dream may be revealing a spiritual truth about your life. Do not dismiss them, because what God reveals in secret will one day be understood in the light. Chosen one, you have always been different. You feel things deeply. You sense energies that others ignore. You experience emotions on a level that most people will never understand. This is not a weakness. This is a spiritual gift. You were born with a heart that can detect deception before words are spoken, feel the suffering of others as if it were your own, sense when something is wrong, even when no one else does. This is why you may feel overwhelmed in large crowds. This is why negative energy affects you more than most people. This is why you may feel exhausted after being around the wrong people, because your spirit is finely tuned to the frequencies of the universe. While others are blind to the deeper realities of life, you see beyond the surface. While others ignore their intuition, yours speaks loudly. While others move without purpose, you are always being guided. This is why certain places drain you. This is why certain people make you uneasy. This is why certain situations feel wrong, even when there is no logical reason, because you were born with the ability to discern. And this gift it is meant to guide you to your true path. Have you ever noticed how animals are drawn to you, children feel safe around you? Strangers open up to you about their problems. This is because your soul carries divine energy. You are not just living for yourself. You were placed here to help, heal, and guide others. Chosen ones are often spiritual healers. Even if they don't realize it, your words bring comfort to those in pain. Your presence brings peace to those in chaos. Your energy uplifts those who are lost. Even when you were struggling, you still found a way to give hope to others. Even when you were broken, you still offered kindness to those in need. Even when no one understood you, you still chose love over bitterness. This is why God chose you. Because your heart is not like everyone else's, your compassion is different. Your empathy is deeper, your purpose is greater. Chosen one, the things that set you apart are not accidents. Your heightened sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a strength. Your deep emotions are not burdens. They are tools. Your ability to connect with the unseen is not strange. It is divine. God gave you these gifts because He knew you would use them for good. You are meant to bring light into dark places, offer hope to the hopeless, be a guide for those who are lost. And as you step into this understanding, you will see that everything in your life has led you to this moment. Every dream, every challenge, every intuition, they were all preparing you for what is next. Chosen one. Your presence in this world is not ordinary. You were not just placed here to go through life unnoticed. You were given a mind that seeks truth, a heart that feels deeply, a soul that connects with the divine. Because you were never meant to be like everyone else, you were meant to be a force of change. And now, it is time to embrace who you truly are. No more doubting your gifts, no more questioning your purpose, no more hiding your light, because the world needs what you have. Your sensitivity, your wisdom, your divine connection. It is all part of a greater plan. And soon, you will see that everything you have experienced was leading you to your true calling, because you are not just another soul passing through life. You are chosen one. You were born with a fire inside you, an unshakable sense of justice. You cannot tolerate lies. You cannot stand hypocrisy. You see through deception like it's written in bold letters. Where others accept injustice, you fight against it. Where others turn a blind eye, you speak up. Where others remain silent, you demand truth. This is because God placed in you a spirit of righteousness. You were never meant to go along with the crowd. You were never meant to follow blind traditions. You were never meant to submit to manipulation. You were set apart to bring truth to a world drowning in deception. The chosen ones do not waver. They do not compromise their integrity. They do not allow the world to shape them. They shape the world. This is why you may have always found yourself in situations where you exposed hidden lies before anyone else saw them. You felt deep anger when people were mistreated. You had a natural ability to call out injustice. It was never a coincidence. This is part of your mission, to stand firm in a world full of illusions, to protect the innocent from deception, to lead others toward truth and righteousness. The world is full of people who follow blindly, but you were born to see clearly. And because of that, you cannot be controlled. Look back at your life. Have you noticed how, even as a child, people naturally gravitated toward you? You were the one your friends turned to for advice. You were the one who took on responsibilities beyond your years. You were the one who carried burdens that most people would run away from. This is because you were always meant to lead. Leadership is not about power, it's about strength. And you have been building that strength your entire life. You learned how to stand alone when no one supported you. You learned how to keep going when everything around you was falling apart. You learned how to trust God even when you didn't understand the journey. This is why God entrusted you with responsibility, because He does not place heavy callings on weak souls. He calls those who can endure, and that is why He chose you. The world is lost. People are searching for truth. People are desperate for guidance. People are trapped in darkness, looking for a light. And you are that light. You have been through pain that turned into wisdom, loss that turned into strength, struggles that turned into resilience. You have walked the path that others fear, you have faced the storms that others run from, you have survived things that would have broken most people, and now, you carry the lessons, the experience, and the divine calling to lead others out of their darkness. The world is waiting for you, to speak, to act, to lead, and you cannot run from your purpose anymore, because your time is now. Nothing was random, nothing was a mistake, nothing happened by chance. Your childhood memories, your struggles, your dreams, your pain, they all carried meaning. They all pointed to one thing, your divine destiny. The trials weren't meant to destroy you, they were meant to shape you. The hardships weren't meant to break you, they were meant to prepare you. Because what is coming next in your life requires everything you have learned, the wisdom you gained from suffering, the strength you built in solitude, the faith you developed in silence. It was all part of the process, and now, you are ready, chosen one. You are not a lost soul searching for meaning, you are a divine force, stepping into your mission. No more questioning if you are chosen. No more doubting if you are ready, no more fearing what others think, because you know the truth now. You were chosen, you have been trained, you are prepared, and now, you step forward with confidence. The world cannot stop you, the enemy cannot silence you, the obstacles cannot break you, because you walk with divine protection. You carry the power of truth, justice, and leadership, and from this moment on, everything changes. Chosen one, hear this clearly, you are not an accident, you were not forgotten, you were not placed here randomly, you are a part of a greater divine plan. Everything you have gone through, every battle you have faced, every trial you have endured, it was all necessary. And now, it is time to embrace your purpose. No more hesitation, no more second guessing, no more waiting for permission, because you were not born to follow, you were born to lead, and now, the world is about to see exactly who you were always meant to be.